Hey guys, it's Pat
Hey,
Largo with Pat Largo's Comedians Uncorked. We're doing another uncut version, but a special version this time because I'm finally talking to someone who lives right here in the Florida area. So you've heard me or seen some of the videos. I got people from LA and people from New York and Tennessee and all kinds of great folks. And today I have with me a funny guy. I've seen his stuff on Facebook and social media, heard good things about him, but this is the first time we're literally conversing, and we're doing it. He's in Lakeland. I'm here in Pasco County, Florida. We have Bill Kilpatrick from Lakeland, Florida. Thanks for being on with me, man.
hey, thanks for having me on. This sounds exciting.
It's fun because I like seeing what you're doing in your area with everything going on right now, and people just trying to survive and keep their livelihood and their dreams going. I love seeing, all things comedy and how we can kind of keep things going and evolve while we don't know from day to day if clubs are going to be open or not, are they going to be 50% capacity or not. All my Comedians on Court gigs with the venues I do them at are all 50% or less right now and thinking about closing down again. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing any more of my shows in the near future. But I've been seeing on social media, you, based out of Lakeland, are really sparking a bunch of local individual areas around Central Florida, correct?
Oh, thanks. We've been very lucky. Central Florida, you got big cities like Tampa and Orlando,
Uh-huh.
but in between those, there's a lot of rural areas where people are just starving for comedy, and they have historically had less. The COVID instances are much lower, so you have a lesser chance of taking your life into your own hands.
And murdering someone at a show.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh.
I love it.
So, it's like we're looking for higher ground, in our case, lower incidence. So it's almost like a job interview. So what are your case numbers? What's your case count today?
Yeah.
So, but we've been fortunate. We've had a lot of interest, places that otherwise get overlooked because they're not in the big city, not the top spots or something like that.
And
But those are the people.
I was going to say, I love that. I love what you're saying. The smaller areas, great crowds usually.
Yeah, fantastic. You can't get any better. They're really excited. This is really something special for them. They're finally coming out of their bunkers, out of their hidey holes. So it's kind of fun. We have a good time with it.
They're all survivalists, and I like that when they come out with their hunting knives and they smell of dead deer. And it's fantastic. And I tell people I'm used to it because even if I play to a sold out room, I'm normally used to 50% capacity of laughter with my stuff.
Yeah. It works perfect, right? It's
all the same.
It's tailor made.
Well, one of the things that drew me to you, in fact, I even talked about getting out to one of my Comedians Uncorked events, which I did, I believe, late last year at Keel and Curly Winery in Plant City. But, you turned me down because you're big time. You said, no, I can't get there, Pat Largo. I'm
so
doing
sorry.
other things. And, I found out that you were doing overnights at Costco. I'm like, that's more important than comedy?
Well, they pay time and a half.
They do. I don't have, plus I have no benefits. But what really turned me on was and I'm sure you are too, a big fan of Ocala. My best friend from high school and his wife lived there and everything. And I love the old Bonkers room that was at that I forgot the official title, like the racetrack.
Yeah, Ocala Breeder Sales. Yeah.
That's right, which sounds like a porn movie. But anyway, right? If anyone hasn't been there, and I've done maybe 3 or 4 times over the years with Bonkers, one of my favorite rooms in the whole entire area. And if anyone doesn't, they want to know what it was like. When I first walked in, it reminded me of like my old high school auditorium, like the lunch area.
Right.
It was it was that color, that look, and it was these big round tables, and the place was packed. They loved it. It blew me away that we had some of the best shows there. And then recently I found out that they're not doing it there anymore.
I think they're doing something that has more gambling oriented, parimutuel, something like that. But they
Wow.
really put a lot into it. I mean, we had a full, beautiful stage. We had a DJ with a, $10,000 worth of equipment. They had video. You could look at yourself across the room, monitor, monitor, monitor. It was flat screens on the left wall, the back wall, the right wall,
Yeah.
and you're on them. They were video. They weren't videotaping, but they were video projecting the show, and the crowds were fantastic. You could get 300 people in there, and it was a special event for them. They're happy. They were on dates. They had family reunions.
Yeah.
That's the kind of crowd. It's like, it's very rewarding to play to when you're doing comedy. You got kind of a jaded crowd. Well, we'll hit this club, or, oh, I think I'll go across the street and hit this other place. These are people, just ordinary, regular, run-of-the-mill, Joe Lunchbox, and they ate it up. They're just in the mood for comedy.
Exactly. And I contacted right before all this COVID stuff hit a couple of venues, because I was like, man, I was even talking to my best friend and his wife. I said, if you have any venues that might want to do some stuff, because I wanted to bring comedy, even though I live not too close, but I wanted to drive 75 north, an hour and change to get there and do comedy. But then I saw you bringing comedy there, and then you have different comedy groups that you started, and one is also Ocala based, correct?
Right. We have everywhere in Central Florida, between the major cities. I've set up special groups, and you just look up the name of your town and the group. So there's a Lakeland comedy group, a Winter Haven comedy group, a Bartow, an Ocala, Plant City, everything, Dade City. I mean, and the idea was to get as many regular local people to buy into it, to say, hey, look, I'm tired of having a show hit. The circus came to town and nobody told me it was going to be here.
Right.
And so I missed it. And so they could all come into this. It wouldn't cost them anything. And then the comics who were looking to do shows there could, drop a promo. And it would, they wouldn't break the bank. It would cost them nothing to reach this, this many targeted, people. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So,
exactly. I mean, just whatever in that city that you could target to that specific genre, that market.
Right. Facebook's got all these little algorithms, and you could spend a fortune advertising on Facebook and never hit the target. You're always, it could be anybody, and 90% of it's not even going to work. It's not your group. But if you have people voluntarily coming together and saying, well, yeah, sure, I want to be invited to the party, let me know the next time that happens. It's been really good. A lot of people have done that. And those are people who tell their friends and tell their friends, and on it goes. So
that's what we have to really root for too, is the word of mouth, because like you said, I've spent some dough before doing stuff like with the Facebook boosting and all the social media. I got to tell you, if I could go old school sometimes and just get off of social media and do old school posters, and if I could afford radio advertising or newspaper stuff, but that's all gone by the wayside. Now you have to learn how to do this social media stuff, but do it properly. And I'm like, my excuse is I'm 50. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've boosted, and I think I'm the only one getting boosted when I use Facebook. That I just see that there goes $50, there goes $100, and I'm like, who is the $50 guy that I got through Facebook? I don't know. So I mean, you have to try to figure out, how to bring them in, because if we can do that, if you can bring people into an empty room, a shoe store, a dead Kmart, whatever it may be, if you can bring people, I mean, Kevin Hart, and I'm not comparing myself to Kevin Hart, except I'm lighter skinned and less appealing. That's the only comparison. But Kevin Hart isn't sitting around going, well, where can I play? It's more like, where's Kevin Hart playing, right? We should be drawing people to our shows, not just saying, well, I heard this club has a lot of people. Maybe I should see if I can get into it. If we could turn that dynamic around and say, well, how do I appeal to a lot of people? And then I can pick any piece of real estate I want. Dave Chappelle, went out, was it Jupiter, Florida, someplace. He went out and he did he did a little YouTube show and he had people come out there.
Yeah.
That place wasn't known for comedy, it was Dave Chappelle. He brought him. And so we have to start thinking about how to build our own brand and our own machinery and deliver on it, rather than hoping Reuben Kincaid will show up and the entire Partridge family will we're going to get a record deal. That fantasy just doesn't seem to be playing out.
Well, that was good. You're on a roll with Chappelle and Hart. Then we just lost all the young kids when you talked about Partridge Family.
I thought about that as I was saying, and I just dated myself.
And what is your fascination with famous Black comedians? No, well, I agree exactly with what you're saying, and that's why I like doing stuff like this. I'm glad we were able to support each other and talk about it. That's why I like to be proactive. If anything, I want people to say, oh, yeah, at least Pat, he likes to support, he likes to help out and talk about comedy and talk about venues and where people are going to be, especially in Florida. So you're right. I want to help you out more. Now, and I'm not going to lie. I love to be a part of one or two of your shows once in a while and drive out here.
I would love to have you on. In fact, you're welcome to come on to any of my shows, actually. I'd love to have you.
Well, I'm too busy talking to my boys in L.A., the Lutz area in Florida. No, man, I would love it a lot. Now, let me bring up, first off, what is your next show coming up?
Well, we have the 23rd and the 25th. Those are our next shows coming up.
All right. I got this right here with my man, Kevin White from Orlando.
That's right. He's fantastic.
Yes.
He's from Boston. He brings that Boston flavor with him everywhere he goes. And he's just a consummate showman. So it was a real thrill to be able to get Kevin on.
Good. That's good. Yeah. And the last time I worked with him was in 2017 at Jackie Knight's Comedy Club in St. Augustine.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, he's great. And I know his wife is a little bit under the weather now, so I'm glad he's out there, though, making people laugh. And I'm sure she's going to be good soon. They've got the best story. I don't think I'm going to kill it, but you know how they met?
I don't.
Okay, I don't know should I let him tell you? I mean, it's just a great story. I don't know. It's him and his wife, or at the time it was just this woman, and they were working at Universal Studios, and they were in the Flintstones show. He played Fred Flintstone, and she played Wilma.
Oh, that's perfect.
And him, he slimmed down now. He looks good. He's healthy. He was a lot more portly. He had the black hair. He looked like Fred Flintstone, and she was a spot-on Wilma with her red hair and everything. And that's how they met, and they got married. They've been married for years now.
Oh, they're like two peas in a pod. I've never seen people more in love than those two. They're the perfect couple. They're what you'd aspire to.
It's true. No, that's why. Yeah, exactly. That's why I hope everything works out, because they're just great. So I'm glad you got those guys. And I would like to maybe go on to another picture. I'm ill prepared here with my social media, unless I bring this up while I talk to you, and see if I can get back to another picture of your.
While you're doing that, can I tell you a Kevin White story?
Oh, totally.
He has slimmed down. It's eerie how much he slimmed down. I never thought of him as being in any way corpulent, overweight, whatever the word of the day is. But
right.
This guy's skinny as skinny gets. And he did it by eating potatoes.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, Penn Jillette has a book about losing weight by eating potatoes.
I think you said.
And a friend of mine tried that. People do get skinny off of that. I think I'd rather just die a heart attack. I'm not eating potatoes, but I love potatoes.
Yeah.
It was nothing but potatoes. And Kevin did it, and he rocked it. And I mean, I could not believe, nobody could believe just how slender a build that he has now. It's amazing.
I just never, just to eat carbs.
Yeah.
Like that. And you can lose weight.
And the potato is usually, on the usual suspects list of carbs they tell you not to eat.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole thing is that I read the book, and basically the concept was to quit eating based out of taste, eating more out of need. And you could eat as many as you wanted to. I don't know how many I'd eat a day, but they were just dry, cooked potatoes. No butter, no salt, nothing added, just a dry old potato.
Just a Gunsmoke diet right there. Now I just dated myself. Well, dude, no, you know what that's called though? That is healthy eating. Like when I get on one of my kicks and I'm eating my NutriBullet smoothies, or just like broccoli raw, and just pop them in and eat them, just for a snack, or baby carrots.
Yeah.
The taste, yeah, but you're getting the good stuff in you.
Right.
But you're right. It's not like, well, the broccoli's missing some cheese, or the baby carrots are missing some honey glaze. No, you just got to eat it raw, man. And I'm like, but I get it. It's great for you, but yeah, you're right. The taste sucks.
Yeah, my diet is a little bit more varied.
Moderation. It's moderation.
Those nuts, seeds, Coca-Cola, ice cream,
Right.
ice cream and Coca-Cola. Yeah, the whole. I'm not a very good Nutrisystem.
You're the best Bill Kilpatrick you could be, and that's what it's all about.
I'm the happiest. That's right.
And happy and funny. Now, here's our next show, your next show, July 25th, correct?
Yeah, this is at a place called LA's Midway Saloon. It's across from a regional airport in Winter Haven, but it's technically in Lake Alfred.
Okay.
And we're bringing in Scott Orbany, and then Scott, sort of as a challenge, is bringing in another headliner, Eugene Torres.
Huh.
So I could never afford two headliners in the same show. One time I did Genesis and Jersey, and I just didn't make any money off that show because I put the two headliners together.
Right.
But it's kind of cool. Eugene is donating his time as well, so I've got two headliners to the show, and it's kind of neat.
Yeah. Torres is working free. I hear he's illegal, so he's just happy to be here.
That's what it is.
Don't tell him I said that. And plus in Lake Alfred, oh Jesus. Well, good. So that's a show there. We showed the 20. Hang on, just the other one. Let's watch this. Oh, here we go. That's the one. That's the one on the 23rd.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
good
the
deal.
one in the mall at Heroes Lounge.
Very good, man. And people, if they want to find out what shows you're creating, where can they catch you out on social media or websites? Like, how can people know what's going on in that Central Florida area?
I'm glad you asked. Thank you. I'm on Facebook as Bill Kilpatrick Comedy, so I put updates there. I also have a website, BillKilpatrickComedy.com, and that has all my upcoming dates. And if anybody wants to message me, notify me, let me know of your availability. I'm more than happy to put you to work and let people laugh and enjoy your comedy, because that's what it's all about, just bringing comics and people together. So it's pretty cool. A friend of mine, Scott Orbany, and I are heading up something also called OPC, OCP, sorry, can't spell. OCP, or Orlando Comedy Productions. And with that, we're going to be reaching out to outside of Florida, to convention centers and larger venues with that. And we're going to be sending out headliners and features for those gigs out of state.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Man.
Pretty cool. Scott's, in addition to being a very funny comic, Scott is an intense businessman and salesman. And he could talk himself into anything, and he could get anything done. I'm just amazed at his talent and energy. So this is very exciting.
That's good. You have to have someone who does that or knows how to do that. So, very good. And real quick, how long you been, I for sure asked us at the beginning, how long you been in the comedy game?
7 years.
Okay, wow.
It'll be 7 years on Nagasaki Day. That's when I started.
Oh.
Yeah.
Heard of it.
If you're going to bomb, that's the day to do it.
Oh. Yes. A violent day, my friend. Well,
that's only in-state joke.
That's right. Well, Bill, I love it, and I want people to get a hold of you. BillKilpatrickComedy.com on Facebook shows. I saw you got a bunch of your own shows coming up that you're touring around Florida. I love it. And I'm just glad in this time, like you said, man, the bottom line is we all just help each other and just get the word out there. You know, if one show's successful, the rest of them can be successful. We all just try to help each other out. So
That's right.
it's really cool, man. Well, I look forward to talking with you and seeing you sometime soon. Always feel free to keep in touch with me. We'll do more of these to keep the people in Florida apprised as to what's going on. Other than that, you stay safe out there.
Oh, definitely.
And we will, and thanks for keeping people laughing, Bill Kilpatrick. And we will talk to you soon.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me on.
You bet. All right, we did it.
We did it. You're fantastic.
Oh
I
my
love,
God.
Your style, man. You're professional all the way.
It's all precision guesswork. Well, cool, man. So this is good. No, you got a lot of good stuff coming up. I love it, and it's just great, man. And then now I saw like the Kevin White one. I think you're doing like $5 tickets. So you're able to sell, obviously, tickets.
Yeah,
going in.
We use $5 as a promo. If they do it online, $5, then it's our ace in the hole. It lets us know we got plenty of people coming. If they show up day of, then it's $10.
Okay.
Which is more, he's selling, normally $10, $20 for a ticket. So you can see him for $5 or $10, you're doing well.
Dude, I love it. Hey, as long as everybody makes a few bucks and has a great time, that's all.
Yeah, that's it. And like you said, you never know. One thing leads to the next. There are so many times where you're like, I don't want to go out tonight. I don't want to do this tonight. And then you go and do it, and then you meet somebody you didn't know, you make a connection, and that leads to the next thing. And, when I was a kid and I wanted to do comedy, I don't remember which adult in my life was like, I said, like, yeah, I think I'd like to do that. And they're like, you got to know the right people. You got to make connections. Yeah. And it's like, I had that in my head all this time. I ended up going to college, getting a couple of degrees, and going to law school.
Wow.
And then practiced law for 5 years, and then started to teach. I've taught for 20 years in the classroom. So it's like I had this in my head, and then I happened to see Devin Siebold.
Mm-hmm.
He invited me. He was a teacher at my school. I've taught at 2 schools with Devin. He's like a stalker. He just won't leave me alone.
He is a big, tall stalker.
See his head popping out of the bush.
Yeah.
And I saw him do his thing, and I thought, well, if he can do it, anybody can do it. No, I'm just
right.
It was like a light coming on, and so I got into it because of that. And the weird thing is, it just, you realize that you make your own connections just by working, just by going out, meeting people, do the best you can, and then it all starts to come together. And so things that I'm doing now, I could only have dreamed of doing, and who knows, what the future is. We just got to keep working and, putting out good stuff, doing good stuff.
Right, putting the work in and doing your thing. Right. I mean, it's it's been few and far between. It's been only a couple of times since March have I been on stage, and one was to MC a gig that I do with local shoppers here in the area for local independent businesses. So it wasn't even comedy. So I'm going to be at Snappers. They called me up, which I've been there so much in the last year and a half, which is, but it's a great place, and they like me and they know me, and we always talk about it. It's great, but I'm like, I'll take it. I mean, just to do it, but all my stuff got canceled this year, South Florida, Orlando, my Comedians Uncorked stuff, just everything out the window. So I'm like, well, all right. So that's why I like seeing stuff like this. And if people pay a few bucks and want to come out and have a couple of drinks and enjoy, it's great. I mean, I can't wait till it gets back in this area again, but hopefully, but no, man, anywhere we can help, keep calling. We'll promo more shows, anything big happening when you get that stuff going out of state, the Orlando comedy production, I think you said.
Yeah.
Let me know. And then, once I get Comedians Uncorked going, we'll definitely, we'll get you out to one. And then I'll, I don't know what you need from me, if you need some avails or video, or I don't know what I could give you. Yeah.
If you send me anything you've got, I don't need a video. I already see, I know you're funny. But any avails that you send me, and I will send stuff out to you. And if you see something you like, just let me know, and I'll plug you in.
I love it, man. Let me ask you a question. Do you allow guns at your show? All right, I'm sorry. That's
Oh, I want to see those again. Come on, bring them out, brother.
They're too white. Too white. I don't.
That
That's
would be
yeah.
great.
I don't even do that. I don't even. That's ridiculous.
That's
I
fantastic.
apologize. No, I'll get you that stuff, and yeah, man. We'll put this on. I'll put it on my YouTube. Then I'll share it on Facebook and Twitter. And if you want to grab it and share it with your friends and on your social media, feel free. You know,
That's fantastic.
or I could get you the link, but you can just share it if you want. So
Hey, I appreciate that.
yeah, well, that's what we do, man. Get the word out, and talk, like you said, those little towns in between the big ones. Like I said,
Yeah.
Ocala. It's a favorite. I loved it. So to do a place in Ocala or to do a place in Lake Alfred, I'm like, I've never been to Lake Alfred to do comedy or something like that. Small places. You're like, yeah, this sounds like a blast.
Yeah,
So.
it kind of blew my mind because I went with a headliner down to a gig, and it was in a bar someplace. I think it's like Fort Myers, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm like excited, and this is really cool. And then we get to the place, and I'm like, I just drove 2 hours for this. Now it was a nice place. The people were nice there and stuff,
Yeah.
but it was like across the street from a Walgreens and a gas station, and we just drove all this distance. I could have walked across the street and done this gig. Why am I not working my own backyard?
Right. Yeah.
There's so many places, they don't pop up because they're not world famous. Nobody cares about them and stuff. And sometimes that's the best crowd you can get. They're just starving for entertainment. And then you have some of the best shows. I had a show in Interlochen, Florida. It was at a VFW, and that's up by Gainesville. And I mean, this is a place you never would have known was on the map unless somebody handed you the map and highlighted it, right? I'm in there, and I'm like, I could drive through this and not know it was here. And, and we were in there. They gave us a green room. They had all this food. We went in there, and we could have shot our Netflix special in that place. People were just, that's it. I mean, you're looking for a crowd that's going to appreciate what you prepared all this time to do. And sometimes these small town crowds are they're the best.
Oh, the best.
Yeah.
There's no rules, no holds barred, so to speak. And yeah, I agree. The small venues, the people who or they're used to music, in their venue maybe. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, can we have a comedy night? And I go, well, I hate when you say comedy night, but you can have a Comedians Uncorked night. And, I got this big ass stage banner. I only used twice before the COVID thing hit. I get this huge, beautiful, huge, beautiful stage banner. My sound guy made the PVC pipe, like the frame for it. Oh, it's huge. And I love it. Now it's in my damn closet, furled up like a flag because I can't use it anywhere. But I want to bring a show. I mean, we bring the whole gig, the intro music. I got my big voice guy who starts the intro of the show. I mean, I want to make a whole entire, production when I go somewhere for Comedians Uncorked, So, I mean, that's why, like you said, just to bring it hard. And small towns, man, like you said, driving 3 hours, 4 hours, but knowing that nowadays when you have one of these, right, you can do, or like what we're talking about, this little camera, right? When you have this, who would have thought you can shoot video, world-class video, and edit on your phone and put a video on social media that looks like it was made in a TV studio. I mean, so you can take this all in your own hands nowadays, and that's what took me a little while to understand. Oh, that's right. Like, yeah, all you got to do is you could do stuff from home and literally, like you said, call venues. Hey, would you like to try this? And just see what they say. I mean, you have to be proactive, and that's the only excuse. If you're not doing what you want to do nowadays, it's true. I tell people it's your own fault because you have it right here at your fingertips. So I agree 100%. So,
it's a wonderful moment.
It really is. You know what I'm saying? Like we may not be selling out Madison Square Garden, but like you said, if we can go up to Gainesville and sell out a VFW place and come out of it, you know, just like breathless, going, man, we rocked that crowd. It was 100 people or 200 people. It's like, damn, that's my Madison Square Garden right there, you know?
That's right.
So I love it, man. Well, keep doing it. Like you said, give me some time here. I'll get this ready and prepared. I'll throw it on Facebook and Twitter. You could have it, and then we'll get it going and keep plugging away, man.
I appreciate it.
I love it. All right, be safe out there, and we'll talk with you soon.
Sounds good, brother.
Bye, Bill.
Bye-bye.